I'm the best in the world.
What I'd like to have right now.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Because I was right when I was cool.
Are you ready?
It doesn't matter!
I said, are you ready?
I'm a sexy beast, baby!
I was up all night.
And I'm
Welcome back to the For Life podcast. Have you missed us? Because we missed you guys. I know it's been a long 2 weeks, but we are back. I am Bosch, alongside...
Cheyenne. That's me.
All right. So, where did we last leave off? It was, 2 weeks ago after the Super Bowl, because I know the picture was Bam Bam and Katie.
Yeah, 2 weeks after the Super Bowl, and not as I'm sitting here thinking about it, not much has happened.
Well, there was a pretty big scandal last week.
Oh yeah, well, big scandal. My dear friend Lily did say that the scandal was big. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Might as well get into that. Might as well. Because it is noteworthy. So,
it is pretty noteworthy. It was last week. I guess you were working. You didn't see Raw live last week.
Was last week the Raw where Rollins' mic was botched?
I'm not sure. I know last week it was kind of.
That was the video package with Sting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see any of that last week.
Yeah, so I'm on Instagram at 8 o'clock. I follow Seth Rollins, and a picture of some naked chick comes up, and I screen grab it right away and send it to you. And it disappeared and reappeared again, and so I guess this was strategically planned to happen as Raw was starting. So, I don't know, I just found it weird. I thought he was hacked. I didn't know who the chick was. I didn't know that she was from NXT or training to be in NXT.
Yeah, I didn't recognize the chick. I thought you were just sending me some random chick.
Yeah, I thought it was some random chick, and then later on, his wife or his fiance or ex-fiance, whatever she is now, started posting pictures of him, which I did not see. Thank God. And it kind of just spiraled out of control. But apparently, I mean, he's not going to get any heat for it.
And there's a memo to be more cautious about that stuff. But I mean,
yeah. And also not to bother Seth about it. I mean,
number one, that's not necessarily his fault, but at that same time, why does your wife have your WWE Twitter password?
And apparently it came up on the WWE's website because all the wrestlers' feeds go up to the site. So
that part is correct.
I mean, I guess, yes, he was wrong if he was having an affair, but she was also wrong for going about it that way.
Him having an affair, I don't co-sign on that at all. But at the end of the day,
you're messing with his career, and
right at the end of the day, the bigger of the two evils. I'm sorry, and somebody else told me, "Oh, you're saying that because you're a man," and I'm like, "No, I'm saying that."
No. I don't think he was right for what he did. No, I mean,
I'm saying that because one is worse than the other. I think worst of these
all three people involved are victims in the situation. All three are guilty. All three are guilty, and all three are victims.
I can't go that way, Bosh. I can't go that way.
No, I think the NXT
all three are guilty and victims, but at the same
NXT
time,
chick is
the
guilty.
wife is wrong.
Oh no, the NXT chick is guilty of sleeping with a man that is engaged, but she also had pictures leaked without her permission. Seth Rollins was guilty for having an affair, but he was also a victim of having his pictures leaked without his permission and possibly costing him his job, or like, he is a public figure. It's a PG company.
Correct.
What if kids are following this account? I mean, kids shouldn't be on social media, but or on WWE.com.
It's because of the age that we live in. That's why you have to say that.
And his fiance was a victim of being cheated on, but she was also guilty of taking it to that extreme.
Right.
So I guess they're all at fault, but they all are suffering. It's just a messed up situation. I mean, I'm not
It
sitting
is,
here claiming
but
to be
again,
perfect. I'm not judging
I do
Seth,
stand
but
by
I'm
what
not.
I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not taking that away from you. I
You know,
mean,
that's just my
his
opinion.
his wife is. I mean, his fiance is gorgeous. The chick from NXT is pretty hot. So
Yeah, definitely. He's got some talent lined up on there. I gotta admit, he's got some good taste. I gotta say.
yeah. Also, we have Fastlane coming up this week.
Yeah, and I caught the beginning of Raw this week. I was able to see some, and I have a little thing.
Did you see the ending?
I love. Say again.
Did you see the big brawl at the end?
No, I've been working on a bunch of stuff at the house today, so I didn't get to see that part, which I heard was pretty intense because Roman was bleeding.
Yeah.
I heard that was like what made it pretty noteworthy was that Roman Reigns was bleeding at the end.
I thought it was well done. Like, it makes me want to see this match on Sunday.
But at that same time, it makes me wonder. Again, going back. Now I remember what I was trying to say. WWE, I saw the beginning, and it's we're on the fast lane to WrestleMania. So it's the road to WrestleMania on the fast lane.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like, well, why is it the fast lane? Because it's the name of the pay-per-view? Because not for nothing, it's only the fast lane for one guy, let's say hypothetically speaking, or maybe so. If Daniel Bryan wins on Sunday, he got to the main event of WrestleMania via the fast lane. I get that. But I feel like just because of that one match doesn't make it does what I'm saying make sense at all?
It does make sense, but I think they came up with this name long before they had the idea to throw Bryan into the match.
Yeah, that's true.
Because back then wasn't going to be like first it was a tag team match, then it was like a last man standing with Big Show.
Yeah, something like that.
So apparently, like that obviously wasn't the original plan. I think this was just the fast lane, more like placeholder between now and Mania.
Yeah.
And I think if it wasn't for this Roman and Bryan match, I would have just said, if you're gonna have this month be free anyway, I would have said skip this pay-per-view and just go straight from Rumble to Mania.
Yeah.
If they weren't gonna do it in the Chamber.
Yeah, because now after Fastlane, do they get a 3 or a 4 week build?
I believe it's 4 weeks. This is the earliest Mania's been in a while. It's usually like second week. Let me see. Fastlane is 22nd, so 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks.
Okay.
No, 5
4
weeks.
solid weeks. That's not
4
bad.
or 5 weeks, I think.
That's not bad, I have to admit.
I mean, right now it looks like. I mean, what direction do you think they're gonna go? Do you think it's gonna be a triple threat, or do you think it's just gonna be straight up?
No, I don't think it's gonna be a triple threat. Straight up. Sorry, guys.
Like, I know that I'm sorry, internet fans, but it's definitely not gonna be Brock and Daniel Bryan 1-on-1. That's not happening.
No, that's not happening.
I know there's rumors of the triple threat, but I think that might be just WWE throwing out fake rumors. I don't think they.
No, I think that has been discussed, but I don't think it's as big of a possibility as the internet is hoping. But yeah. I think they genuinely discussed it. I'll give them that one.
I mean, I've heard that the thought process was also to have Bryan in there as kind of like the ring general to keep the match flowing together,
which would also be cool.
Control the match.
Which would also would be cool.
Just because Brock's used to having guys lead him, and Roman isn't at that level yet.
Yeah.
So just have Bryan in there as kind of just the general in the match.
That would also be cool. I mean, every guy's got to have their say, you know.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that I can say.
So besides that, and besides obviously Hunter and Sting, and I'm assuming Rusev and Cena in a rematch, what else do you see? I mean, how do you see Rusev and Cena ending? I think it's going to end with Rusev beating the shit out of Cena and Cena. I
think we're going to get a clean finish
from Rusev.
Yeah, I think Rusev is going to beat Cena because I do think that John Cena's at that point.
Cena beat the shit out of him yesterday.
Well, I saw the beginning, and then I saw pretty much after line. I saw when Cena was standing over him was the last thing that I saw.
Yeah, and
essentially.
What else? They've been teasing Bray and Taker. There was 3 Bray Wyatt segments last night. One where he has a big nail, one where he has a hammer, and then in the third one he's hammering the nail in what's presumably a coffin. So I guess they're really heading in that direction.
Well, hey. I mean, I don't know. I realize more and more as it gets talked about how much mixed feelings I have about the Undertaker on WrestleMania.
Yeah, I guess I feel the same way, especially after the loss last year. And then do you have him come back and lose again, or do you have him come back and win and then he leaves and Bray Wyatt and like all this momentum they've put behind Wyatt the last 3 months goes to waste?
Right.
You know, because they have made Wyatt look strong the last few months, and then it's like, okay, Taker's gonna leave, Brock's gonna leave. Like you have Bray as a really strong heel that can challenge for the title after Mania. But then if he loses to Taker, where does that leave him?
I mean, it's not like Taker's going to be a full-time wrestler anyway.
Exactly. So after the last couple years, he's only wrestled Mania.
I mean, what if you get Roman and Bray for the belt? Let's get that.
Yeah, but if you put all this momentum behind Bray and he loses to the guy that looked weak last year, he loses to a 50-year-old man.
Well, I don't think Taker's going over. Number one.
Okay.
This match is without question what WWE wants to propel Bray Wyatt to add legitimacy to Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
They clearly see Bray Wyatt more so as the next big villain in the WWE, and I understand why, and I don't disagree with their choice.
But then they have Taker lose 2 years in a row?
Yeah, and that's the thing. And then on top of that, if he loses twice and we get Taker and Sting next year, why am I going to care about it?
I mean, it's at the point where why do I care about this match since he lost last year?
I get that argument. I do generally get that argument, but then it's like, well...
And then we know Brock's probably going to lose.
You're going to care for this WrestleMania.
And Brock is probably going to lose this year, so now that puts Roman as the guy that beat the guy. And then that puts Bray as the second guy to beat the second guy to beat him.
Also bear in mind that the thing with Brock and Cena are because I had this discussion last night. Brock getting beat is inevitable, and it's the right timing. So Brock is not going to be affected by anything that happens to him at WrestleMania.
Because he's going to UFC after this.
That too. Then you talk about Cena. I don't think Cena losing.
Well, Cena. I mean, Cena's at a point where he's
losing to Rusev clean. I don't think that's going to affect him either. To be honest with you, Cena's at a point where almost nothing's going to affect him.
Again, weren't we saying the same thing last year when he was going up against Bray?
Right. But then again, he beat Bray, which caught us off guard.
Exactly. So we were saying, it doesn't hurt Cena to lose to Bray. And it was kind of backwards where we assumed Taker was going to beat Brock and Bray would beat Cena.
Right.
Then that could have been better lead-in, but... I mean, kind of like when Cena beat Brock that first time. Like, it just made no sense.
I don't think it's that... I have to disagree with that. I don't think it's that it didn't make sense when Cena beat Brock the first time. I think it's just the fact that Cena got his ass handed to him and he beat Brock.
I think also the fact that the storyline that they were building was he lost to The Rock, and since then he was on a losing streak, but he lost to The Rock, beat Brock, and then he was on a losing streak and lost to Laurinaitis and Ziggler and Punk and all these
and he got his ass handed to him.
Huh? Yeah.
And he got his ass handed to him. I think that will always be the bigger picture about that match, because he got his ass whooped.
Yeah.
That's one of those moments like you could say this and that is fake. But when a man gets his ass whipped, he gets his ass whipped.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's there's a lot of things that are really uncertain right now.
Yeah.
With the matches and the finish, because everybody's thinking, okay, well, if this is going to happen, what happens to that person long term? That's what everybody's thinking. Everybody thinks long term
because right now
now.
we have Cena and Rusev for the U.S. title.
Which, to me, it's not a bad thing that Cena's competing for the U.S. title. I don't know why a lot of people make a big deal about that. And I think
I don't think it's a bad thing. I think
it brings more credibility to the belt.
Yeah.
I do think that if he wins, I would rather he win it this Sunday than at Mania. I have to say that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say that. I would rather if he wins it on Sunday.
I mean, I thought Rusev was going to win the title and eventually lose it in like a triple threat or something just to get the belt off of him so he can move up into these bigger matches.
No, I see him being a powerhouse, and I think he's going to be in a situation similar to Brock that when he moves up to
world title picture.
He'll just be a powerhouse, and he'll just be like a threat in those multi-man matches.
Yeah, and
that's what I see. That's what I see.
Did you see the contract signing with Ambrose and Barrett, or did you hear about it?
I heard about it, but I didn't see it.
Yeah.
I was real selective, and last night it was late, and I just, I was really selective with what I want to watch. So I saw the Flair segment.
What'd you think of that
finished. I thought that was cool. The YouTube
I think it was
great.
one of. I think it was one of Flair's best appearances since coming back.
Yeah.
It was like one of the first times he had a purpose. He had a reason for being there. He made sense. Like he wasn't just rambling or.
Yeah.
Like.
It was done very well. You could tell he was on point. You could tell how invested he was in it.
Well, I think this probably, knowing how much he respects both Hunter and Sting, I think he would want to go out there and do the best to help both of them in this storyline.
Oh, yeah, versus the other things that he's done was like just fun for him or just going out there. What was the last time he was on Raw? When he promoted, when he put Big Show knocked him out, that's never fun. And then when he put Cena over for that 4-way, right?
I think so.
Right.
That time that he came out and chose the Shield over Evolution.
Oh, that wasn't good at all.
Yeah, exactly.
That wasn't good at all.
Well, I think if it's something that Flair believes in,
I buried it on the show.
I think if it's something that Flair believes in, he's going to put his all into it. And I think this is something he believes in. This is probably two of his favorite people in the business,
Right. But I think it's cool. He was saying, he did an interview. It's funny that he did an interview saying that he's a tough act to follow. Mm-hmm. People asking him why, he's not on WWE more and stuff like that. And I could see that, but I don't think it's like that anymore because of the fact that, the stuff is so, predicated now.
Yeah.
It's not like in the Ruthless Aggression era, which I can't believe is becoming a more mainstream term. It's not like during that era when...
I can't believe that was over a decade ago.
Yeah, it's not like then where there wasn't so much, time crunching and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, now when you have something where he can't really be freelance, it's a totally different animal,
Yeah.
That's just my opinion on it. But, he's still good, and he's still great on the microphone, and he's still good to do certain interactions physically.
Yeah, I thought he took the knockout punch a month ago, and he got shoved by Hunter.
Yeah, well, the shove by Hunter, it's like when Show knocked out Dusty. It was just the emotion involved.
And it felt realistic. It would have been goofy if Triple H would have kicked him in the gut and gave him a pedigree. That would have been unrealistic. It was one of those he lost.
I don't know, unrealistic. It just would have been too much.
It would have been too much. I think it
would have been vicious, but it would have been too much.
But this was just right, where he just lost his temper for a moment and pushed somebody, his mentor or somebody he looks up to, Right. Kind of I know when he had that Hell in a Cell with Taker and he had his moment where he threw Shawn out the ring, but he didn't go and beat the shit out of him, It was like he lost.
Right.
So I think I always like when Triple H does that when it's his friends involved and he loses control, but he doesn't go all the way. He'll just do enough, then,
He'll do what's right.
Yeah.
He'll do, he'll do it just right. I get that. I get that.
I wasn't crazy about that segment last week with the fake Stings all over the place. I think the fact that the Sting in the ring looked so fake that it looked ridiculous and...
the video package was cool.
The video was cool, but I thought I thought like the first thing they showed in the crowd, I thought was him, and he was gonna walk down. But then when I started seeing a bunch of them, and then when I
No,
saw
I knew for a fact that Gordon Steven was not there.
and then when I saw
knew
that horrible impersonator who looked like J.R. Scar 2004 with that long hair and skinny as hell, I knew.
Yeah, I knew Gordon Steven wasn't there.
Yeah. Did you
I knew he
catch
wasn't there.
the NXT special?
I did.
Or at least the three.
I did.
Matches.
I did. I did in fact see. I saw most of the women's match, and I'll explain why I didn't watch it in full. I'm explaining why I didn't watch it in full.
Why didn't you?
But I saw most of it. But I saw most of that. I saw all of Balor and Neville.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw the beginning. I have not finished yet Owens and Zayn.
Right.
But I know what happened
the ending was crazy.
The four-way. I thought the four-way had moments where it was very good.
Uh-huh.
I thought Bayley, had the best showing out of all of them, believe it or not.
I thought I think Sasha did pretty good job.
What I didn't not that I didn't like it, you could just tell that they're not used to multi-women matches.
Yeah.
It just wasn't smooth. Not to say it was bad, because it wasn't, but you could just tell they're not used to having multi-woman matches. And that's the difference with the main roster and them. While the main roster, the matches are not that great, they are used to being in there with 50 different chicks, because that's what normally happens to them, which is a pro and a con to both divisions. But there was that. So that at times kind of pissed me off.
Yeah.
That it felt like, when you have that multi-person match and then it's like two people are in and then two people are out, or two people are in and then that one person rolls out so the other person get a spot, versus having 3 or 4 or 2 or 1 in the ring. Mm-hmm. It wasn't constant. I just
speaking
felt
of
like
multi-women matches, I got to give credit to E because I've been catching up on Total Divas, and they made that Divas match from last year's WrestleMania look fantastic just by the editing alone. Like, they made it look like it was a really good match.
It was a good match. It looked like a good match live. I was there, man.
I mean, maybe from what I remember, it wasn't fantastic, but I guess they chose like all the best highlights and they made it look really good. So
it was a good match to me. I was there. It looked good to me. Then again, on Divas, it showed 30 seconds of it.
Yeah, they showed like a few minutes of it, and it was like cut really
come
quick.
On, you can't critique a match on Total Divas.
I'm critiquing as an editor.
That's like critiquing Eva Marie's wrestling skills. Come on, bro.
As an editor, I'm critiquing.
No. To kind of shout out Jamal Jackson, that is beneath you. No, I can't.
Maybe it's just fresh in my head because I saw it today.
Yeah, no. I saw some of the Total Divas today because I had the live stream on.
Yeah.
And
It's only because my coworker's a huge fan, so I've been catching up.
Everybody's a huge fan but me. I feel like an asshole. Everybody loves the show.
I just saw Brian and Bruce's wedding.
More. They had the tour bus episode was on today when I was watching.
Oh, I remember that one. That
was the tour bus episode.
Jimmy and Naomi were banging on the bus.
Yeah, well, they were going to get caught nailing each other or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever it was. And then Nikki was like, I should have stood on John's bus or something like that. I was like, yeah, but John's not going to give you a wedding ring, so why bother? Why the hell go on that bus? There's nothing there for you, woman. What are you doing yourself? You're asking yourself for the heartbreak now.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm sure it's still an entertaining show. I just haven't seen it in a while.
I mean, I just finished season 2, so I'm try to catch up with season 3.
Okay.
Just for the hell of it. I mean, I've been trying to stay on top.
Overall, how was Raw yesterday?
A little better than the previous weeks. I would say the Triple H Ric Flair segment was good. That closing segment was good. I thought the Cena opening was good. Rollins and Ziggler had a pretty good match.
Yeah, I saw on the live report because I'm always like.
I mean, it kind of looks like they're setting up Ziggler, Rowan, and Ryback against Seth and J&J Security.
Yeah, you mean for the pay-per-view maybe?
Yeah, maybe they'll announce it on SmackDown.
Because I know they were talking about doing Ziggler and Ryback as a team going into Mania or some shit like that.
What, against who? Like Big Show and Kane?
I don't know, but I know that report did come out.
And speaking of, did you get a chance to see that weird Primetime Players reunion?
No, because honestly, the way you wrote it to me, I didn't want to watch that when I came home.
I mean, pretty much the way I wrote. I mean, I guess I didn't have the backstory. I guess that was Darren Young's first match in months.
How was that? I mean, well, he got squashed. So what am I asking? How that was?
Well, no, he didn't get squashed. From what happened was, I guess he had an interaction with the Ascension backstage during the pre-show on the app, on the network, and I guess they challenged him and a partner to face him. So he's in the ring. He's with this jobber, no-name guy. I mean, they never even said the guy's name because as they were announcing his name, the Ascension's music hit. The Ascension comes out and jumps these guys. The announcers don't even say the guy's name. And they start beating the shit out of them. They get rid of the white guy. And then out of nowhere, Titus runs in and they clean house. They get rid of the Ascension. Then the Primetime Players music plays for like 2 seconds and then they cut to commercial.
What?
Exactly. I mean, it was no DX reunion from 2006. I tell you that much.
It sounds horrible.
It sounds like a botched version of the DX reunion where they're both in the ring and they clean house and their backs hit and then they do the DX reunion. It was nothing like that. They didn't even do the fucking.
Horrendous.
They didn't even do the Primetime Players dance.
Well, they pressed for time. I mean,
it was so weird. Like, and not even knowing that they didn't even mention the backstory. I heard about it on one of the podcasts last night, but I did not know the backstory. I had no idea what was going on.
I didn't know the backstory after you just said to me right now.
Prior to that, the last thing I heard from Darren Young was that he was mad that he wasn't allowed into Abu Dhabi. And
I saw that, but that was last week over the weekend.
That was over the weekend, and they didn't let him go to Abu Dhabi because over there it's illegal to be gay, and WWE was looking out for his safety.
Isn't that a horrible sentence?
It is.
It's illegal to be gay.
I think also women aren't allowed to attend the shows.
Is that still a thing?
I believe so.
I know that was a thing during their first tour. Is that still a thing?
I don't know if it still is, but I know at one point it was. So I I don't blame Darren Young for getting upset. I know he was saying that people didn't have his back. I mean, I tweeted saying I had his back. I mean,
did he write back to you?
No, he didn't.
So then, no, you don't have a support anymore.
I mean, I followed the guy since he was in wrestling in Jersey, so I mean,
I know you have a different thing with him. I've been following since NXT and Nexus, so
yeah,
the original NXT. Just saying. Just saying. Not to say that this NXT is watered down, because it's not.
Because carrying a fucking keg around the ring is a lot more impressive than the matches they're putting on now, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then going back to NXT,
I mean, and I know like X-Pac and Lance Storm tweeted their support to him, and I guess WWE did put out a statement saying that they were doing it for Darren's best interest. Like, God forbid something would have happened to him out there,
Yeah, and on top of that, doesn't he like to travel with his husband?
I believe so. I mean, he might as well. He should have had his husband out there as a tag team partner last night. I think that would have been a lot funnier. I mean,
that would have been the Essential would have squashed them, and that's how it would have been like for the two of them in Abu Dhabi. What the hell's wrong with you?
I mean, that dude's pretty slim.
Well, let's see what goes.
Yeah. I mean,
but,
I enjoyed the Primetime Players as a team. I was upset when they did split because they didn't do anything with them afterwards,
No, and then it looked like Titus was getting some burn for a while, and then they pulled off.
And then Darren got hurt. I mean,
Titus was like having a lot of good matches on Superstars, so I thought he was like going to get ready for a program.
Yeah.
I knew they weren't going to
with Slater Gator, and I don't know if that was just
which was getting over.
I don't know if that was just a placeholder until This guy got
Slater
back.
Gator was over though.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody says. That shit was over.
I enjoyed it until they had Hornswoggle come out with the little gator outfit. I mean, that's just my preference.
There's pros and cons to that.
Yeah.
There's pros and cons to that. So, but Raw was meh. Was Raw meh again?
And there was a mixed tag with Tyson Kidd and Natalya versus Jimmy Uso and Naomi. I thought the other girls did pretty decent in that match.
Okay.
Paige.
Did
fought Summer Rae.
Did Natalya and Tyson Kidd have another argument or something?
Yeah, Tyson blamed her for losing the match.
Ah, Jesus. Well, maybe if you had sex with her, Tyson, she would be good in the ring when you're there.
They did an angle where the Bellas stole Paige's outfit, so she
she was naked. She was naked on the
running
floor?
around. She was running around in a towel, and then looking for an outfit to wear. So she took one of the rosebuds and put on their outfit. I'm sure you've probably seen the picture by now, where it's like a fruity candy outfit.
No, I haven't.
All right, I'll send it to you.
That's new to me.
So, trying to remember what else happened on Raw. They're further teasing Miz and Mizdow.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about them.
Mizdow wrestled Barrett. It's kind of like they're doing now, where anytime, I guess Mizdow wrestles, and anytime he has the upper hand, Miz is in the director's chair and calls him over to do something for him and distracts him.
Okay.
So I guess it's.
Well, I mean, they gotta drag that thing out for another 6 weeks. So.
Yeah, so I'm guessing they're gonna drag that out till Mania. Stardust and Goldust.
I saw that on YouTube. I saw that.
Okay. What'd you think of that?
I thought it was good. I just got pissed off that the crowd was doing the CM Punk chant during the backstage segment.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt like the crowd totally missed his promo.
Yeah.
That's my only beef with that. But I enjoyed it. I liked it.
I mean, it'll be cool to finally see them have their Mania match. I know we've been discussing
I just hope they get it
years.
at Mania. I hope they get it at Mania, and I sure as hell hope they don't get the pre-show treatment, because that's what they do.
As long as they don't rush it and throw it on this Sunday show. I mean, I think it's kind of quick to throw it on this Sunday show. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, but
not for nothing. If it was on Sunday's show, we would have known by now.
yeah. I mean, they're doing 2 tag team splits, simultaneous tag team splits.
Yeah,
right now.
yeah.
And they have Tyson and Cesaro going for the tag titles on Sunday.
Which I don't think they're gonna win, but that's my opinion.
I mean, I can see them doing maybe like.
You jinxed it, Bosh.
What?
Stardust and Goldust will wrestle at Sunday's WWE Fastlane pay-per-view.
Did that just come up on SmackDown? Spoilers?
No. Yeah, the spoilers. Yeah.
Shit.
Just
there
now.
you have it. Breaking news. Son of a
Breaking
bitch.
news. You heard it here first. If you're listening tonight.
I mean, unless they do something where one of them isn't in the Dust gimmick at Mania, or he becomes Dustin, and if he's trying to get Stardust to become Cody, I don't fucking know.
And
it's so confusing.
Bull Dempsey worked the dark match tonight.
Okay. Was Bull Dempsey involved with Ace? Because I saw him post a tweet about Ace for Life and about the show for last week.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if Mike trained him, but he was in fact a regular.
Okay, yeah, because
he's friends with Will, Stockade, all those guys.
Okay, yeah, because he kind of has like a similar look to like Stockade.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I looked at when I was posting last week all the stuff from the show. Like I clicked the Ace for Life hashtag and I saw that he came up posting about it. So
yeah, but Bull Dempsey. I've been meaning to ask that. I don't know if Mike trained him. I don't think he did, but I know that he was an Ace for a while, and he was an Ace while he got the call for the developmental tryout.
Okay.
Yeah, he was working for Ace. At that time, that was his main promotion.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So, but yeah, he's a nice guy from what I hear.
Nice.
Unlike other people that have been through Ace, from what I understand, that are currently with WWE. So, just leave it at that.
Would that be
that? I'm not saying names. I'm not saying names because I want to work in there one day. So I am not saying a single name.
Do you want to quickly discuss last week's show? Was it last week or 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago was Ace. I was hoping we could get Jamal Jackson, but I totally forgot to say. Can we fly him in? Can we fly him in?
If you want to text me his number, I can probably add him or ask him if he has Skype.
Let me see what we can get him in.
All right, folks. We're gonna go to break right now. When we come back, we're gonna try to have.
We're gonna try to have Jamal Jackson in, and we're gonna try to have him here on time for once, which he's not fucking used to, because he's the Bret Hart of independent pro wrestling. And I could say that because this is my show, and Steve Austin said that kayfabe is dead. So I'm not going to be a face announcer and be on his good side. Hopefully Jamal Jackson has his shit together when we come back.
All right.
Hey, 4Life listeners, this is The Cap here with Mike the Finance Guy and Ralph the Tech, inviting you to check out our Geektastic podcast, Meanwhile 22 Pages Later.
So if you're a Whovian, a lover of capes and tights, a gamer, or a TV movie watcher, and you want some very honest reviews from some very funny guys,
check out our podcast. It's on iTunes and also on SoundCloud. And if you want to join in the discussion, check out our Facebook page. Oh, and by the way, that 22 is the number.
Now, back to Bosch and Cheyenne.
And folks, we are back to 4Life Podcast exclusive. Hear the elation in my voice, the fact that this man is actually on time on my show. God forbid that I had to beg him to be on my show, but John Harder asked him, and what would he do? He's on the Hardway Podcast. But this week, exclusive 4Life Podcast, as he's huffing and puffing, he's already blown up to the gills to be on my show. The 4Life Podcast is proud to have my man, one half of the movement, throw those ends up, the cult of personality, Jamal Jackson. Welcome to the show.
So, but I asked to be on the show, but it's all right. It's okay.
We didn't hear anything you just said.
Yeah, can you have to speak up?
Yeah, it sounds like you're 8 feet away, or am I bugging?
Word? That's how you feel? Now you hear me now?
Yeah, we hear you now better.
Okay, see?
All right, well...
I'm telling you, this is Cheyenne's doing. He did this on purpose.
Kayfabe. Now, we were, right before the break, we were getting into, 2 weeks ago, Ace. We did the Hero Celebration for Mikey, for Mike Morgan Jr. And, going back to the Hardway Podcast with John Harder, the voice of Ace Pro Wrestling, and you can catch his podcast on the johnharder.com. You made a very, very bold statement that you were going in there to win the Battle Royal, and I got to admit, without question, and I don't mean this in a negative way, that was your best performance of the year. You, as an individual, that was your best performance of the year. You in that Battle Royal, as a friend. I was looking aside. I was so proud of the performance and the effort that you put into that match. And you were in the Final Four, man. The Final Two.
It was the Final Two. Final Two. I had money on him.
Final Two. Even my mom still is upset that you didn't win. Talking about that, man, like, even though I know you wanted to win the cup, you came pretty damn close, and you got nothing to be ashamed of. Talk to me about that.
Well, the fact that I was actually able to be in there with 3 other competitors, one of them being my own tag team partner, and considering the fact that I came up just a little short, I took my eye right off the prize. I'm a little down about it, but not so much. Obviously, Will Wyatt won. He was the better man that particular night. It took me, I felt like it was way better than my last Battle Royal experience. from last year. You already know how that went, being one of the first guys thrown out. So
yeah. So you definitely redeemed yourself.
Absolutely.
Did you and SMB just go in there knowing that it wasn't about the movement as a collective? Like, what was that like going into that match for the two of you?
We knew completely that the night was about Mike Morgan Jr. It wasn't about SMB or just Jamal Jackson or the movement as a whole. It was about one particular person. It was about honoring his life and everything that he's done for the company. Like I said, he's quite possibly the most inspirational person in the company, period.
Yeah.
And we wanted to do it for him. So either way, we wanted to win, but we wanted mostly to do it for him.
Talk about your relationship real quick with because I, for a couple of weeks now I've been touching on how close I've been with Mikey and Mike Sr. Talk about, you and Mikey and Mike and just, because these last couple of years you've gotten very close with the Morgan family.
I don't want to be too in depth with too many things because there some people might want to take words and then twist things.
Okay.
But we're pretty close. Obviously, if you've gone over to the 4-Star Diner, which it's probably our legit dinner or breakfast or whatever spot you want to call it.
Yeah.
That's where we go to hang out, and that's where we meet up and we discuss things, laugh about a whole bunch of things, tell jokes, just have a whole bunch of fun there, and being able to spend time and hang out with the both of them was always really cool. It's very heartbreaking that Junior's no longer here with us.
Yeah.
To just to move forward now with Ace having officially having a building again, which is awesome, but at the same time, it's never going to be the same.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, and for those of you who don't know, the 4-Star Diner, which has been showcased on Overdrive a couple times, that's pretty much like the Ace's office out there over there by Bergen Line in Jersey. And
it's right near the original arena.
Right near the original arena by 6th Street, like just 3 blocks away, right? No, not even.
It's literally a block away.
A block away, excuse me. Yeah, so it's. I still haven't been back since Mikey's passing, and I don't intend on going. I argue with Mike about that all the time.
It didn't. Well, I mean, I had been back there the week of the show. Mr. Mustafa and I, right? Very bizarre to have the two of us hanging out in the same area.
Yeah. Well, that was coincidence. So
we were over there at the 4-Star Diner, and we were sitting there, and it was just completely different,
Yeah.
Normally, we're used to sitting down all the way in the back of the booth. There's so many different things that are so different about the diner, One, we had lost a friend that worked over in the diner,
right.
So we had lost her earlier last year, so that was already different, and we already felt like it would never be the same. Now it's even more so never the same because you can't sit there and have dinner with Junior and just go on about a whole bunch of different things.
Yeah, it's gonna suck. Because it's inevitable that Mike's going to drive me back there. I can't be there making Junior, laugh till 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
When I got,
he was the inspiration behind making music videos and different ideas for the show.
He was the conscious of it.
The ideas behind music videos, set up for shows, how he would like the venue to look when we had a venue and everything. There's just so many different things that he wanted. And to be honest, I think we should all pitch in ideas and help for the brand new vision of Ace.
Yeah, it's going to be a team effort now that Ace is going to be running out of the Mike Morgan Jr. Arena in Wallington, New Jersey, which is 67 Hathaway Street. The kickoff date is to be announced. It's tentative for March for the fans out there. And, you'll see details on both 4lifepodcast.com and on aceprowrestling.com.
I remember seeing you, and I saw how tough it was because I know exactly how close you were.
Yeah.
You'd always go out and you spend time with them, family and everything, and just go film Overdrive and things like that. So it was very nerve-wracking and upset because it was the first time I've been with close friends in the locker room. And we all just kind of broke down, and we had a big moment, And that was unexpected because you never would ever think that something like this would happen or even turn around towards, thinking that a close friend, that there would be a 10-bell salute for them.
Yeah.
Like, never,
and
never.
It's funny you say that because you know how normally when we do the show days, and Bosch knows this because I tell him this all the time, I can't be in the locker room because I'm always somewhere else.
Yeah.
And, not for nothing, that show, because there were no, pre-tapes or interviews or anything like that, I could have been in the locker room, but I just didn't. I was trying to escape the inevitable, and then I lost it during the 10-bell salute. And, you and F&B were the first guys to grab me when the roster started the ring, and that was a cool thing for all of us. You and Ant, were the first guys that grabbed me for that. And I thank you for that. That was cool. And
when you're family, there's no need to thank. Thank. That's just the way it is.
Now I gotta ask the question because Bosch brought it up. And I gotta ask. Final four was Andrew Tiny Johnson, William Wyeth, Jamal Jackson, and the FNB, the Fat Nasty Bastard. Now, listen. I'm not trying to point any fingers. I got to ask tough questions here because I'm a journalist.
Here we go.
Hey, man, listen. Boss brought up. You pulled the rope down and inadvertently cost F&B, your attacking partner, going over the top rope, being eliminated from the battle royal. I tried to get F&B on the show, and he told me that until Ace reopens, he is vacationing in France in his villa. And he knows what that's about. So I want to know what's up with the movement, man. I gotta ask, was that a one-time hiccup, or you guys, what's up, man?
Oh, well, I know he was upset with me from ever since Crossroads. I felt that we both needed to redeem ourselves, and realistically, it's a battle royal, and there was no way that it could just be the both of us as the winner. Accidents do happen when you're out there, and as far as I'm concerned, I was trying to get up and get back into the ring and help save him. Okay. I wasn't expecting him to come flying up and over, No,
so what you're saying
from my angle, that's how it looked.
You're saying it's his fault. You're saying it's his fault.
No.
No, you're going on my fault. I'm just saying it's his fault.
I didn't say that it was my fault. I said that it was purely accidental. Okay. What happened was an accident. Okay? I finally got to review and look back at the footage, and I got to see him go over the top rope and hit down to the floor. Okay? There I am apologizing, saying I'm sorry. Okay. Next I get blindsided by William Wyeth as I was going to attempt to get back into the ring, but I didn't because F&B's there laying on the floor and he's upset with me, and I'm like, oh, look, now we both lost.
Now, Bosch, you were at ringside. Explain it to me from your vantage point.
From what I saw, it looked like Jamal was getting up and he was using the rope for leverage to pull himself up, and F&B happened to fall over when he pulled himself up.
It's not like I planted a tripwire and said, oh, look, F&B's going to get caught. I got him. No, I was trying to get up.
Okay. I just gotta ask these questions. I don't want any rifts between my buddies, Bosch, I actually have more questions for Jamal Jackson, but is there anything you want to ask or say real quick? Because I know you're just enjoying this banter. But do you have any questions for Jamal Jackson before I go on?
No, I thought it was a good show. I mean, obviously you guys were a lot closer. I met Mikey briefly once, so you guys are a lot closer. So you guys have a lot more memories with him, and I'm sure he was extremely proud of the show that everybody put on that evening. And I thought, it was my first Ace show, but I really enjoyed it. Like, I want to go back and see more shows, not just because you guys are on it, but I genuinely enjoyed the show.
Yeah, no, the roster was solid that night.
Yeah.
You know something? I have a question.
Yeah,
you sat there and you did commentary, and you sat there and you got to view the show as a fan. I'm just curious to know, out of all the 30 men, who lasted the longest, despite William Wyeth winning the match?
Was it him?
I think so. He was in there for a while. If it wasn't,
was it him or was it
Stockade was in there for a while.
Stockade was number 1. I was number 6.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's either Stock or him. And Stockade, the Devil's Outlaw, he contacted me, and he's claiming that technically he should not have been eliminated from the matchup. So that's something he has to take up with the powers that be.
I mean, we would have to sit there and time both of them, but because Stockade was in there first, but he was eliminated before Jamal.
John Harder.
He also had a partner in there with him the entire time.
That's also true. You did more of the matchup by yourself.
Even when FNB was in there, he wasn't using FNB to help him eliminate everybody in the match.
And speaking of that, because Bosch alluded to this now, and I'm glad he did. There were a lot of first-time interactions. One of them being with you and Stockade. What did you think of the tandem of Stockade and TJ Marconi that all of a sudden kind of formed before our eyes, not just in the Battle Royal, but that night? Did you have any thoughts about that going forward with Ace at all? Or anything?
I was pretty much thrown off guard. I didn't know that we were having a tag match. I thought we were doing a Battle Royal, so when they were going in and double teaming on people, I said, hey, they got to do what they have to do, but at some point, both of them are both scumbags, so one's going to turn against the other. It didn't happen. We didn't get the chance to see that, considering the fact that Eddie Kingston and Dan Moff came out to the rescue. Well, they didn't necessarily need to come out to the rescue for any of us before them that were left, but, hey, it had to be done. It had to be with scumbags.
Well, with that being said, I don't want to get into any derogatory remarks about Stockade because he and I just don't ever seem to see eye to eye. You say that there's no miscommunication with the movement, so now going forward with the Mike Morton Jr. Arena, what is next for the movement?
Oh, what's next for the movement? That's always a good question. Each and every time that we're asked that, what's next for the movement? The next best thing is yet to come.
Which you get asked. You get asked that like every week, the two of you.
I get asked that all the time.
Yeah.
It's a very good question, I guess, to ask, but I really don't know.
That's not a good answer.
I'm not too certain what's written in the cards for us. We'd like to be the tag team champions again. That's the most honest thing I could say. Now,
do you feel as if you guys are in line for a contendership, or do you feel you guys are going to have to earn it?
Well, considering the fact that we were, part of the Final 3 of a Battle Royal, I think that we deserve a tag team title shot.
Well, you also have to bear in mind there's Donovan and Richards who, despite the fact that they earned a title shot and then lost when taking on Bad Company, they were in fact screwed out of their matchup. So I mean, I'm not mistaken. Either FNB and I threw out Ricky Richards, so I don't know. I think that we still would deserve a title shot based upon that too. That is also fair, and perhaps do you see the movement taking on Stockade and TJ Marconi if they solidify themselves as a tag team? Anything's possible. I could see that happening. Do you currently own the new John Cena T-shirt? As soon as it gets here in the mail, I will. That's horrible. That's horrible. What do you mean that's horrible? Blue one? My wife is a sweetheart, so she got it for me. There. I'll leave her off this show. Let's go back. Let's go back to WWE stuff because Bosch and I were talking about it. What are your thoughts on the C-Man Rusev feud? What are your thoughts on that?
I guess he has no thoughts.
I was going to say,
did we lose him?
Did we? You didn't lose me. I'm here. Oh, okay. What did you get the question? I heard the question. I started answering. I was like, wait a minute. We got nothing out of that. Okay. Once again, what are your thoughts on Cena and Rusev? To be honest, I think it's the storyline. I think it's going to happen, but I mean, it's happening. But as far as the match going Fastlane, I'm just confused. I thought that would be saved for WrestleMania. I can't see them doing that rematch at Mania. It just seems too weird. Do you see Cena being the man to break the undefeated streak? Yeah. I don't see any other way around it. It's going to happen. A lot of people aren't going to be happy about it. Do you think Cena winning the belt gives the U.S. title credibility? Because I think it does.
it reestablishes it as a very serious title, but is that really the main title of the company, like the secondary title?
Well,
I mean, it's kind of like when he came back and fought for the World Heavyweight title.
Yeah, and it's who's to say, either one of those are the secondary title at this point. You have two titles.
I figured that some credibility was already restored once Rusev started going through guys as the champion. So, I mean...
Yeah.
I mean, he's only had it for a couple of months. What, since September, October, something like that?
Yeah.
Well, that's a long time in the reality era.
Yeah, which is surprising.
But how many times has he really defended it, or how many times has it been billed as a big U.S. title match?
Well, if you notice lately, Rusev has barely even had any matches.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I
thought they could have thrown him in there with Ryback for Fastlane and then built to Cena.
I thought they were going to do that match at the Rumble, but once they did the whole thing where they fired these guys, it's like, oh, okay, well, thank you for changing everything.
I mean, I thought Ryback could have been a good placeholder feud until the Cena thing started.
I mean, I don't know. I think what it came down to with Ryback was that he didn't connect in that WWE shoot promo that he cut, and they just kaboshed him.
I think he should have been a guy to they finally give him something. I mean, I feel like as far as being in matches and like, to me, I think WrestleMania 30 is where he's impressed me the most.
Yeah.
That was probably one of the better matches I had ever seen him in, even though he was a part of a tag team. So I felt little by little he's getting better. And he has been doing better, even when he was with Curtis Axel.
Mm-hmm.
It just sucks that they're going to give it to Cena, and I don't recall if Rusev and Ryback even had a match.
They might have had one on SmackDown that ended
I was going to say,
or...
They had some TV ones. I don't remember being a major.
They could be potentially saving that as the match instead for WrestleMania. And we just bypassed that. Maybe he will beat Cena come Sunday.
I mean,
I don't think face Ryback.
I don't think him losing to Cena. Excuse me. I don't think Cena losing to I don't think Cena losing to Rusev rather hurt Cena at all. Quite frankly.
I don't think Cena losing to anybody right now will hurt him.
No, seriously, nothing you can do to that man at this point. And do you have any thoughts on the WrestleMania card? What do you think it's going to be?
I'm kind of leaning towards it potentially being. I think I see the world title match being a multi-man match.
Okay, you do see it being a multi-man.
If it's not a triple threat match, it could be a fatal four-way, but I don't see it being a fatal four-way because I do see Randy Orton and Seth Rollins happening at Mania because that's the last match Orton had. He hasn't had a WrestleMania victory in like what? 2 years now? 3 years now?
I think it's 2 because 29 Kane went over, right?
28 Kane, 28 Kane, and then the Shield.
Oh, the Shield, right.
And then last year, he dropped the title, even though Batista...
Correct. It was 27. 27, he beat Punk.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was in Atlanta. Yeah, I was in Atlanta.
So now it's to the point where him and Seth Rollins go in at 1-on-1, and he gets the victory.
And then Rollins cashes in.
Him cashing in the same night would be awesome, but I'm not too sure if it's going to happen.
I told Bosh I would love if Rollins cashed in.
Oh, I would too.
On Roman, right there. I would.
I don't know. I don't think that would make Roman look very strange, to be honest.
Oh no! But could you please let Bosh know about the Roman Reigns strength thing, please, for all our listeners?
If you look at the WWE's like page, there are a lot of people from different countries that get the words all wrong and their spelling is bad. Well, not the spelling is bad, but they spell the wrong things. So, if you see things like broke leaner or,
Was that about Seth Rollins?
No, anything about Seth Rollins? No. Seth Small Package Rollins? No, nothing about him.
Are these the same people that spelled John Cena J-H-O-N?
Yo, when they spell his name like that, I don't know what to say. J-H-O-N Cena.
I've seen a couple of people call him Joan Cena.
Good old Joan Cena.
Yeah, Joan Cena. Yeah, that's my favorite daytime talk show.
They also spelled Roman Reigns Roman Riggins. I've
seen that. I've seen that one. That one I have.
Not WrestleMania.
Yeah, and that one I've seen also. Oh man. First of all, I got to do the John Harder bit now. Where can we find you on social media?
Are you guys ribbing each other, you and John Harder now? This is.
No, I'm upset because you want his show and not mine. I love John. You I'm on the fence about. But I'm just upset because you want his show and not mine. That's all.
Listen, I will publicly go out on a record and on a limb and say I would love to randomly come in and host with you guys as long as you guys are cool with it. Now, this doesn't mean I have to be on every week. You can have me for when they're talking about big pay-per-views that are coming up, random specials that they have on the network that they turn around and they'll put on DVD, and people will turn around and buy like an idiot like myself. So, you can just do things like that.
You better not buy that Monday Night War DVD set. You can't.
I will break anybody's fingers that I know that buys those Monday Night Wars DVDs, because those are the worst. Oh, you know how upset I was when how they had the story keep on going continuously.
Yeah, you can't get that damn thing. You can't.
Is it all 20 episodes?
Yes.
Oh, God.
I love how they have Self-Destruction of the Shield as if you couldn't have watched it, after SummerSlam.
And they were showing the free preview last night.
And then remember, the Monday Night War, the one that's coming out, it's advertised as Volume 1.
Yo, are you serious?
Yeah, it's advertised as Volume 1.
What else could they possibly discuss about the Monday Night Wars?
I don't know.
This is their way of telling people, well, if you don't have the network, we're still going to have to find a way for you to buy something that's on the network.
I don't know. I mean, I'm behind. I still got to get the
people still buy the pay-per-views.
Which is the stupidest thing to me. It's the stupidest thing. Oh, well, what thing just happened? Was it, what happened what we just missed? No, what was
the Rumble?
What was it that came out the other day on Dirt Sheets and had the worst pay-per-view buy rates in history?
TLC.
That's that one, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought the worst one in history was Armageddon 2003.
No, it was.
No, I think it was December to December.
December to December.
Oh my God, that thing is so bad, bro.
I still never seen it.
There's only one good match, and that's the opener, the Hardys against Eminem. That's it.
Did anybody's nose get broken?
No.
Weren't there only two matches announced? There were only 2 matches announced for that show. There was the tag team match and the chamber match.
No, didn't they announce like Khali versus Sandman or some bullshit?
No, that was the only 2 announced for that show, and the rest was, I don't know, the night of. Wasn't that the night that Heyman quit? Or got fired or something?
Yeah, he walked out. He walked out. He walked out that night.
I would walk out too if I knew it was going to be trash.
Well, on top of that, he wanted to book it where Big Show was the first one eliminated and Vince kiboshed it.
Yeah.
That was also like just the whole creative stigma of it. They just were not on the same page about it at all. Which, I understand and don't understand at the same time. So that's my logic. Where can we find you on social media, sir?
You can find me on Twitter at Angry Coco Man. You can find me on Instagram at Angry Coco Man. You can even Snapchat me, Angry Coco Man.
I'm not even going to get into the confines of the Snapchat.
Why are you hating on Snapchat for?
Because I'm not a sexual deviant. That's why.
You don't have to be a sexual deviant. Forget about it.
Now, will you be getting new gear for your next? I want you guys to get new gear.
We want to get new gear. We'd love to have new gear.
I would love for you guys to have new gear for the.
We're trying to find a color that everybody else isn't using, and that's kind of impossible because in the world of wrestling, everybody uses red and black, right?
That's true. Yeah. Yep, everybody's in the wolf pack. Even the fat ass crew is in the wolf pack. I'm sorry. I don't know what that meant. I'm sorry. I don't know what that meant.
Plus, I gotta find tights that look my butt look awesome. So that's what it is.
That sounds like something that Tiff's gonna have to go through. Ladies and gentlemen, he's the guy right there, the biggest fan of the smoking guns in the whole wide world, cult of personality, Jamal Jackson, AceProWrestling.com, at Angry Cocoa Man on Twitter. That's Cocoa. That's the cocoa as in the bean. Jamal Jackson, thank you so much for spending some time with us here this evening, sir.
Thank you, Bosh, and you, Cheyenne. It's Cocoa Man.
Well, you spell it Cocoa, but whatever.
Oh, God.
I'll catch you at the end of the evening. Thank you, sir.
Peace.
Peace.
Nice talking to you.
And I was able to hang up on him without messing up this call.
All right, we're good. We're seamless.
When we come back, we'll figure it out. For Life Podcast.
I'm in love with the coco. I'm in love with the coco. I got it for the Lolo. I'm in love with the coco. I'm in love with the coco. I'm in love with the coco. I got it for the Lolo. Turn up. I'm in love with the coco.
All right, folks, we're back. Thank you once again, Jamal Jackson, for joining us on the show. It's always a pleasure to have him on. Always entertaining. I'm glad you guys were able to go into further details for those who don't know about Mikey and about Ace. And it's always great just discussing the product with him, especially somebody as knowledgeable as Jamal Jackson.
Yeah, he's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's all right.
Somebody has to put him over. Come on.
Yeah, and I, had to be us. So, a couple things to wrap the show that we got to talk about. So, Ric Flair's getting a podcast. I want you to say your thoughts on this before I say mine.
I mean, Flair is possibly one of the greatest talkers of all time in the business, but that's not, I mean, I don't know if that always translates into being a great interviewer and a great podcaster. I mean, I'm not going to judge until I hear it, because, I mean, I would have said the same thing about Stone Cold 2 years ago, and he's turned out to be amazing.
Yeah.
So.
It's exactly what you just said. That's exactly my interpretation of him getting a podcast. I think he'll be better with celebrities, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Than with the wrestlers. And then, the thing with him is, if you see him in the shoot videos a lot of times he tends to step on people or say, let me get this thought out. And, just saying. So I don't want that to translate. When you do that on radio, it doesn't sound cool, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's just me. But it'll be interesting. And I'm more curious to see him with celebrities. I think it's a given that he's going to have Austin on the show,
Yeah. I mean, it's through, CBS? Is it the same company? I think it's the same
deal
company
that
Taz has, yeah.
The same deal that Taz
I mean, I can see him having Austin. I can see him doing Dusty, maybe Steamboat, maybe, all of his buddies.
Yeah.
Sean,
I see him having all his buddies.
If he would have started if he would have started this week, he would have had Sean, because Sean's done every podcast this week promoting his book except ours. Sean, if you want to promote your book, I'm right here. I bought your book last week.
Who else is Sean's on besides Jericho?
He did Jericho. He did Austin. He did The Law. He did Sam Roberts. He's done all of them this week.
I knew he was on Jericho. That was it.
He did Austin's today. He did Sam Roberts last week. He did The Law. Sean, come on. We both stood in line on 34th Street to meet you. Shit.
Can we ask him on Twitter? Can we straight call his ass out
I have your book, Sean. Why haven't you done our podcast?
Sean, I have your action figure. Why not? You know what? We should write him on Twitter.
We will. Also, I have one of our big fans, Jay. He just texted me about something random, but he's always complaining that we never have callers in on the podcast.
Well, I mean, there's various reasons for that, and I don't want to say them because it's kind of embarrassing. Mm-hmm. We never know who's listening. That's why. That we're not live. Oh, well, we could probably say, we're taping tonight, and if you want to call in, right?
Well, I think we should. You want to surprise Jay and call him?
Yeah, I don't care. Why not?
You want to do it in a few when we're done talking,
or why not?
You want to do it when we're done talking, or you want to do it now?
Call that bitch now.
All right, let's go. Let's see if he
call Jay now. Let's see. He's talking all that hot garbage.
He texts me. Let's see if he picks up.
Jamal Jackson doesn't scare me, and neither does Jay.
All right. He might not recognize the number, but let's see.
I'll leave him a voicemail. I'll leave him a nasty voicemail.
Did he pick up? Hello?
Hello, Jay.
Jay.
Who's this?
These are the hosts of the 4 Life podcast. You're on the show.
This is Cheyenne and Boss of the 4 Life podcast.
You're always complaining that you're not right now. You want to text me during the show to do Photoshops for you. What's going on?
Thanks for catching me so off guard like this, guys.
Yeah. Well, you're on right now. You were talking a lot of smack. You're on the show right now, partner.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's about time.
You just happened to text me while I was recording. I wanted to tell you, but I was like, nah, it'd be more fun to surprise him.
Yeah, very much so. Thank you.
What's going on, man?
Nothing much. It's here on Facebook and this chatting my life away right now.
Well, you can chat with us. What are your thoughts on Fastlane this Sunday?
Are you on the Fastlane?
Huh?
I am on the Fastlane. I'm on the Fastlane to WrestleMania. Yes.
I'm the only one that's not. I'm the only one that's not.
Say that again?
I'm the only one that's not on the Fastlane to WrestleMania, I swear.
But my takes on Fastlane, right now, well, I mean, do they even have like all of the matches set right now? Like when I checked last night, there was only like 4 matches set.
Right now, it's Roman and Bryan, Cena and Rusev, the Triple H and Sting face-to-face, the tag team titles, Tyson and Cesaro versus the Usos. Goldust and Stardust was announced on SmackDown.
Oh, so
yeah, that got announced tonight.
Yeah, that
okay,
broke earlier
that was
in the
announced
show.
tonight. Okay. Let me see. I guess I'll start off with the tag team titles. I see the Usos winning it. I see the Usos getting by slightly. I think it's going to be a very good match. Kid and Cesaro make a very impressive tag team thus far. We'll see how long that lasts, knowing how Vince and creative, bows their head to tag team. So we'll see how long that tag team lasts. But so far, so good. I do see them getting a tag team title reign sometime down the line, but I don't think it's going to be as fast.
Okay.
What?
Okay.
What about Paige and
Nikki? Now, yeah.
Which match? Which one?
Paige and Nikki.
Paige and Nikki. Interesting. Paige and Nikki. I see. That's a tough one. That is a tough one because right now Nikki's on a roll, and they seem to be giving Paige a push again. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I see Paige winning the title at Fastlane though. I see the feud carrying along as they usually do with Diva feuds for a few months. Mm-hmm. So I see this feud going on for probably through Extreme Rules. So if anything, I see Paige winning the Divas title probably at WrestleMania, which pretty much sort of coincides with her which she won the Divas title a year ago.
Okay.
Do you see WrestleMania being another multi-woman match?
Most likely.
Do I see WrestleMania what? Say that again?
Being like a multi-woman match like last year?
For the belt?
Oh God, I hope not. I hope to God not. That shit was just so horrible.
We were putting that match over earlier in the show.
Am I the only one that likes that match?
I put over the way it was edited on Total Divas. You put over watching it live in Stadium.
I mean, I guess it was good for what it was like last year, but I mean,
they also discussed they were in the worst position possible right after Taker lost the streak.
Right. So yeah, they had to I guess calm down the crowd and the mood and everything. But I mean, once you do one too many matches, like team matches, especially in a repeat event year after year, it gets kind of tedious. Which is why I also hope that they don't do another Andre the Giant Battle Royal this year, because I mean, despite it was a great idea last year and it gave Cesaro I guess
a one night push.
Yeah.
I hope to God they don't do it again. They don't do that again, so it won't be like the same result for whoever does win it. So and the same goes for the Divas. I hope they don't go through that again. But I mean, we'll see what happens.
I guess they try to get everybody on the card as best as they can.
Yeah, I mean that's understandable, but I mean, at least be more creative with it. I mean, bring back as far as the main male roster, at least try to bring back the ladder match for the Money in the Bank. I mean, something like that.
That came up today that WWE is discussing the option of having 2 ladder matches.
Yeah. That
came up today that they are discussing that.
I mean, what happens if the guy cashes in and Seth is still within his year, and then Seth cashes in on that guy?
I don't know. I mean, but they had to do something because I mean, if you remember last year, they had how many battle royals in 1 year?
Oh, in 1 month.
Exactly. They had 9 battle royals within an 8-month time span. I mean, come on.
Well, bear in mind, do we need 2 ladder matches for 1 belt?
I don't think so.
No.
I mean, what was the second contract before?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, that's my thing.
Mhm.
That's my thing.
Yeah.
But it's tough. It's that awkward in between before we have a real idea of what's going to happen at WrestleMania. Because not for nothing, Roman and Brock may not even happen. I think that it is, but it may not.
Well, I know where Jay stands with this one.
I'm pretty sure that it is going to happen, but the way it's looking, they're going to have. I see them leaning towards a triple threat again. I think it's possible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, don't rule it out.
I really don't think they have any other choice at this point. I mean, I know that at first they were probably going for Ziggler versus Daniel Bryan, in a singles match, which would be a great match. I would love to see that match. But I think just the position that WWE is in, as far as the fans wanting Bryan in and Roman not being ready and Brock not being like an all around wrestler to really go back to back with just Reigns. I mean, I think they really might not have a choice but to put Daniel Bryan in that match.
Yeah,
it's going to be an interesting road to WrestleMania. Where are you watching WrestleMania, Jay?
I am watching WrestleMania on the WWE Network for the exclusive price of
$9.99.
Exactly. Yes.
You're not going to do one of those bar things or anything like that.
I mean, well, if a party comes up and I'm invited, I'll definitely be down to go. But as far as right now, it's WWE Network, $9.99.
Yeah.
I see that Ken Rosenberg is hosting a party for Fastlane.
Peter.
I saw that going around. Yeah, it's
okay.
Ken Rosenberg. Yeah, Peter Rosenberg. Yeah, that person.
He's doing which one?
What
The
is
one
he-
that the one that Wilkins does.
I think so. No, it's not. I don't think it's at Topic. It's somewhere else. I'll send it to you. But I see that he's hosting a Fastlane party. Yes.
All right.
He is in fact hosting one. I have to say. But it's gonna be pretty interesting. These next few weeks, I have to say, it's gonna be fun if nothing else.
Yeah.
It's definitely going to be fun. I mean, like the whole, I don't know where they're going to go as far as like the whole Reigns versus DB match on Sunday. I think whatever the outcome is, it's going to be very interesting, and it's going to be a very good segue towards for Monday night and going towards Mania. So it's definitely going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to it.
What about Cena and Rusev?
Cena and Rusev. That's tricky because that's definitely going to be another feud that leads into WrestleMania as well. I see Rusev going over. I actually do see Rusev going over. I don't know how they're going to do it. I definitely know they're definitely probably going to have a rematch at WrestleMania where Cena is going to be the victor because I mean Cena and WrestleMania just seems synonymous. Pretty much with Cena winning.
Yeah.
It's very rarely that you have Cena losing a match at WrestleMania. So I definitely see a rematch with Rusev and Cena become, being the victor and capturing that U.S. title and hopefully bringing back some kind of
prestige.
Legitimacy to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you see Rusev winning clean?
I don't know. I mean, you know. We all know the whole Cena legacy. I mean, Mr. Kick out at too. So I can't say that I see Rusev winning clean. The only way that I see Rusev really getting the pin over Cena is if Lana interferes, which surprisingly she really hasn't done in any of Rusev's matches.
Mm-hmm.
So
interfere like in a physical way or kind of like when Sonny would show her ass or something?
Well, somebody had brought up in the thread last night, the Facebook thread that we have in the group, that Lana could do like a Bobby Heenan and pull Cena's legs from under the ropes, and then Rusev lands on Cena and gets the 1, 2, 3s, something to that extent. So I mean, that's definitely a possibility. Maybe like throw some brass knuckles into the ring or something like that. Just something to make her seem relevant, as a relevant, heel manager. Because I mean, thus far, I mean, other than her acting Rusev and being his mouthpiece, she really hasn't done anything to like really, be involved in the matches itself.
Yeah, she just talks for him, talks shit for him.
Yeah.
Right.
That's like we talked about a few weeks ago. Like, would he be as over without her?
Right. And that's a very good question because I mean, I think he would be over without her, but I don't think he would be as over.
Yeah.
As he is right now, because I mean, she definitely is a great mouthpiece for him, and like she like for the most part, she does have that Russian accent down when she uses it correctly.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, she's definitely a great addition to that whole Rusev character.
Yeah. Do you see it being like a Sable and Mark Merrill situation where she might end up being bigger than he is?
That could be a possibility. I never really thought about that. That could definitely be a possibility because I mean,
that's a new angle. That's a good question. Boss.
I mean, they've managed to keep Rusev a lot stronger than Mark Merrill was in the '90s, but I mean, I think he's a lot stronger now than he was a year ago.
Right. Well, yeah, Mark Merrill isn't a Rusev though. I mean, Mark Merrill was just like some lame mid-carder. I mean, for God's sake, the guy was Johnny B. Bad in WCW. You can't get any lamer than that.
I like Mark Merrill. This is kind of hurting me now.
I mean, no. Don't get me wrong. I like the guy. I mean, I liked him more. I did like him more when he came to WWF back in the day. But I mean, after Sable left him, it was like, okay, what use do you have for this guy anymore? I mean, he's definitely not going to be, not an upper tier guy.
Yeah.
I mean, the most that they could have did with him was the Intercontinental title, which I think he did capture one time. If I got that correctly.
I think he won it though as Wildman, not Marvelous.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, there really wasn't much you could really do with him after Sable left him. So I mean.
Yeah. Oh, I'm a Johnny B. Bad fan. I'm sorry to say that. So, yeah, I am. I am a Johnny B. Bad fan. I'm sorry to say that. just put it out there. I am.
It's nothing. We're not judging here, Cheyenne.
Okay, I am in fact a fan of Johnny B. Bad. If you don't want to wake up bad, you know, don't piss off Johnny B. Bad. I'm just saying. That's how it goes, man. I'm just saying how it goes. We had 2 guests on our show, boss. This is good.
Yeah, it's February. It's Black History Month. We're giving back to the community.
Thank you. I greatly appreciate it. I guess this is going to be my one and only song appearance.
We'll see you again next year. No, I'm kidding.
Very appreciated.
I love it. That was a Cheyenne joke. I love it. Boss just turned heel. Yes. Boss.
And I've already got the perfect idea for the cover art.
Contributions to Black History Month. Thanks a lot.
Oh man. And please, Akeem for the Hall of Fame, please. Oh man, that's good. Oh man, Bosh, we're ready to take it home.
Huh? Yeah, I think we'll take it home. We'll do this commercial for 22 Pages Later's podcast.
Let's do that.
All right. It was nice talking to you, Jay. It's great to have you on the show, and we'll definitely have you again.
Team. I hope to see you soon, bud.
Before February.
Thanks a lot, guys. I mean, like truly, I really do appreciate finally being on the show. I mean, it was definitely much anticipated. I really didn't think it was going to happen. I don't know what the reluctance was on Mr. Bosch's part, but I
didn't figure out how to do it until today. So I got 3-way happy and started.
We can call anybody we want now. This is great. I should call FMB now. I want to call the FMB.
We'll save that for next episode. I think we.
Yeah, plus he's probably sleeping. He's an old woman, so.
All right, man. We'll see you around, Jay.
All right, boy.
All right, guys.
See you.
All right. Take care.
All right. That was fun. 2 guests on the show. We usually don't have one, but hello.
Yeah.
All right. Thought I lost you there. All right. So, folks, you guys know where to find us. Hopefully, if not, it's 4lifepodcast.com, at 4lifepodcast on social media, or facebook.com/4lifepodcast. We're also on YouTube. If you want to find me, I'm at IamTheBosch on Instagram and Twitter, and Cheyenne is at
Ravishing Jones on Twitter, Instagram, and a tattoo on my ass. That's everything.
Is that what you have tattooed on your ass?
That is what I have tattooed on my ass, unlike other people.
Are you making fun of my lips?
Hey, I'm not saying anything.
Well, they're not my lips, they're somebody else's. But anyways.
Yeah.
When you're listening to your podcast, you are
listening to it
for
life.
Here comes Johnny B. Bad, and you don't want to make you mad. He's as pretty as a picture. He looks just like Little Richard. Don't be fooled by his looks. He's got a mean left hook. So if you don't want to end up sad, don't mess with Johnny B. Bad. Well, he's so hurt. That man from New York City, you see him in the spotlight. Johnny B's gonna fight. Don't want to mess with him. He'll put a left on your chin. So if you don't want to end up sad, don't mess with Johnny B. Bad. Oh, huh. know they never get enough. You know you better change your ways. He's gonna leave you in a daze. So if you don't wanna end up sad, don't mess with Johnny B. Bad. The girl said he's so pretty. That man from New York City. They see him in the spotlight. Johnny B's gonna fight. Gonna mess with him. He'll put a left on your chin. So if you don't wanna end up sad, don't mess with Johnny B. Bad. I said if you don't wanna end up sad, don't mess with Johnny B.